I want you to start thinking like a KOL when you look at your cases. Because when you start thinking that you're going to show this stuff to 500 people, you will find it different in the way you treat. I don't care who you are. And don't sit there and tell me I treat every case the best I can. We all try. But there's a difference when you know it's going to be shown to 500 people. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of your 5-Minute Friday. I recently had a friend of mine reach out to me and ask me, hey, Glenn, I really want to become a KOL. How does that happen? What do I do? And there's some great lessons just from the question I want to help you with. So first things first, being a key opinion leader or speaking on behalf of a company, these people get attacked a lot. I've done it. Currently, I do it a little bit, but only for certain companies and even many companies that I don't even use the product because it's more motivational in nature. But I want to make it clear that, first of all, the idiots out there who attack KOLs, the word is right. They're idiots, okay? Because nobody who's a KOL would ever attack another KOL, no matter what the company, because they realize how much time, energy, and effort goes into developing these presentations, and it's not for the money, okay? You're not being paid enough to do this. It's because you believe in something and you want others to learn about it. And that's what most KOLs do, but that's not what this is all about. It's not a glamorous life, right? People see somebody on stage, ooh, that's exciting. Okay, I've been on that stage. It's not that exciting. It lets you get out your yayas of being an actor. One of my good friends who's not a KOL, but speaking for 40 years, Bill Robbins, a prosthodontist, told me, most of us drawn to the stage love to be in front of people and act, right? Without being in a play. It's your one-man show, one-woman show. And I agree with that. Being on stage with all eyes on you is a fun experience if you're built for it and you enjoy it. It's your opportunity to craft a narrative, have a monologue, so to speak, and enjoy it. Teaching is certainly the main reason. You love seeing people light up. When you're presenting on stage and you see someone nodding along with you and they're getting it or they're smiling, that's an irreplaceable feeling. To have somebody feel really excited about what you're doing and know that you're changing their life. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The relationships with the companies are always great because you're treated very well, but you've got to create a presentation. And let me tell you, folks, for every hour on stage, for me personally, is about a dozen hours of creation. So if you have me for a full day and I'm speaking 6 to 7 hours, you can assume somewhere between 70 and 100 hours have gone into that presentation from start until end. And that's a lot of work. And that's a lot of time you could be spending on your practice. It's a lot of time you could be spending with the people you love or a hobby or something like that. So that's a real downside to it. If you're speaking clinically, which I used to do, which I don't do anymore because you have to be documenting your cases spectacularly. Don't invite me to your lecture to show me half-assed, pictures that I can barely see or they're not looking good or the angles classification in the picture is misrepresented. You need to be documenting it effectively and good. So now you're looking at cases with a different eye. Suddenly you got to start snapping photos of every case. You need to have good photos. You need to be collating them effectively. And you're bearing your soul. You're putting your work on stage. And that's tough. Let me tell you, folks. And so what's the takeaway from this? If you want to be a KOL, that's great. It's not easy. It's not simple. And you don't do it for the money, obviously. But the more important takeaway is I want you all to treat your cases as if you were a KOL. Now, what does that mean? It means that you're using a Class 2 corrector of some sort. Document the case before you start using the Class 2 corrector. Document the case during the use of the Class 2 corrector. Document the failures of the Class 2 corrector. Document the finish of the Class 2 corrector, and then go back and look at your images. Look at it all the way through, not to show to somebody else, to show to you, so you can learn from it. Because I will tell you, when you stand on stage, and this was told to me by a mentor of mine, when you stand on stage and when you start taking photos, period, on a regular basis and reviewing them, you automatically become a better clinician. When you start showing them on stage in front of other people, the quality of your care goes through the ceiling overnight because you don't want to look like an idiot on stage. So you're making sure your cases finish well, they look good, and you're seeing pictures blown up to 15 by 20 feet on screen. You see everything. The bracket position all of a sudden jumps out at you. And so becoming a KOL is a great thing, but if you don't want to, start treating yourself like you're a KOL. Start photographing every single case and pretend you're showing this case on stage to a room full of 500 people. Would you be proud of it? If not, what would you change? If you were presenting this case to 500 people, What would you tell them about what you could do better in this case? We've all hopefully seen lectures where someone presents failures. Those are the most powerful lectures around because they're showing you stuff that didn't work out. And once I went to a workshop in Santa Fe years and years ago, and the admission, aside from paying registration, was you must bring a failure. Some people brought psychological failures where they set up inappropriate expectations. Some brought physical failures where crowns would break or occlusion destroyed things. Some showed bad prep design. But you learn from failures, and you yourself will learn from failures when you photograph. So again, the whole point of this is give you a little glimpse behind the KOL life, but more importantly, I want you to start thinking like a KOL when you look at your cases. Because when you start thinking that you're going to show this stuff to 500 people, you will find it different in the way you treat. I don't care who you are. And don't sit there and tell me I treat every case the best I can. We all try. But there's a difference when you know it's going to be shown to 500 people. Okay? It's no different. You keep your house in good shape, but when you have a dinner party coming over, you clean the cupboards a little bit better. You make sure the counters are a little bit more spick and span. You make sure that the stuff you have sitting out is a little cleaner. That's just the nature of humanity. And so I hope this helps you. Much love to each and every one of you. Oh, and by the way, speaking of KOLs, come to the summit at sea in 2024. We don't have any KOLs. I mean, there's companies there, but generally speaking, nobody pays to get on our stage. It's who I choose almost all the time. There are very rare exceptions to that, but for the most part, I choose them. And this year, for 2024, I've chosen some real winners. Non-orthodontists, people who are going to help you really live your best life, get your best profitability, and help you think outside the box in only ways they can. And 3 keynotes for only 2 days. Go figure. So if you want to communicate with your team better, if you want to become more profitable, if you want to save yourself more time and energy and become more efficient, I specifically have lectures designed for that will help you and your team. So go to opsummit2024.com, sign up now. We've already had a bunch of different cabin types sell out completely. And if you want to be on the ship, sign up now. Love you all. Speak to you soon.